When we were coming here, you were talking about the crime rates, 49, 51%.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Is it that these crimes have increased, the rate has increased, or is it that the awareness around these crimes have, because you've worked in the field, you've seen the ground reality. I'm curious to know, is it more voices being spoken and heard now, or is it just that the crimes have increased?
I guess it's both.
Okay.
I guess it's both because of so many reasons, and one of the reasons is looking at women in a particular way.
Tell me more. What do you mean by that?
Well, objectification of women. That women can't do certain things. All the statistics prove differently. Tell me what a woman can't do. Space, right? Climbing mountains, corporates, domestic work, right? So I tell them that people go to B school to learn all kinds of management. Look at a housewife managing the home.
Yeah.
Okay, she is doing what? Personnel management. Product nahi bolenge usko. What do I call them? Supply management, right? People management skills, finances she's managing. So what is she not doing? Tell me. Education, anywhere you see, sports, medicine, wherever. So a certain perception that women are meant to do these things only. So that is one thing. And yes, there is a lot of reporting now. Because women have become aware of their laws and rights, or the legal regime which is there in the country. And mind you, we have one of the best legal regimes in the world. I have certain, question marks over the implementation of that legal regime. So these things are there. And so women are becoming aware of their rights. And if they get the support, then I'm sure they're going to ask for their rights also. And so when they're asking for their rights, more crime is being registered. But a lot of crime is also not being registered because it's not being reported also. And unfortunately, and I have seen this firsthand on the ground, many women think that if they have been battered by their husbands were right in battering them. I mean, it's ironical, but many women, they will say, they will come to report, right? At times, an insensitive police officer may also tell them, victim blaming. That you only did something, must have done something so that you got battered. But many of the times the women feel also that they couldn't prepare the food on time. So what if they were battered by their husbands? Because the husband is earning for them. So
I have a question here, Sutapa. I think it all comes down to that agency of you, right?
Yeah.
It still comes down to who am I and how much will I allow something like this to happen to me. It goes back to probably early years again.
It does.
On how you've been brought up, what are conditioning.
Yes, your conditioning, what education, what conversations have happened in your family. Were those conversations diminishing or demeaning of the girl child? Or the parents were giving the message that, look, for me, my son and daughter are equal. Right? So those conversations are very important. How much you have been empowered by those conversations, because the minute you step out of such a household where there is equality, right, in thought and action and behavior, you are going to face inequalities because everybody is not coming from that same milieu, right? So how much of that noise you internalize or you don't internalize? And once you internalize, they become your internal demons. and how much strength you have gathered over the years to fight those internal demons. Because one big problem with women, and there are a couple of very, very serious problems which women have, and you actually have to surmount those challenges, is something called, it's a syndrome when, when people tell you that you're good for nothing and you think,
Accept
yes,
it.
right. So those things. And then what happens is we start working doubly hard to prove ourselves. Now, doing that, somewhere it dents into our self-care. We are always working for our, families, partners, others, so that you get lost. That is a very dangerous point. Right? That's called an imposter syndrome. Right? You feel as if you are an imposter. You start questioning, you start second guessing yourself. And that is because of the message which is coming to you. But if you have a very strong background, and if you have your self-image intact, if you know your worth, if you value yourself, these things won't hurt you. Otherwise, they will eat you from inside. Because the world will challenge you the minute you step out of a protected household, from a protected atmosphere. And I feel, with nuclear families growing up, this becomes more of an issue. Because straight away you're pushed into a world where
it's right on your face.
right? Right on your face, and you're told so many things. Because labeling is a very common thing with women. A man may be, very prim and proper and very, punctual and this and that. But if a woman is the same, she is called bossy. Now, what is this bossy business? If you are in a job which requires certain things to be done, you have to do it. So those are the labels we have to face. So we really, really have to be super strong. And that is why it is so important that parents should bring up very strong girls and very responsible boys who understand these things, who are sensitive boys, so that when they grow up, they become sensitive men. We need sensitive men because we need allies. And allies won't happen unless men are sensitive and men understand.
More aware about what's.
They are aware. They are woke. Those things are very important.